You'll be moving through 60 minutes of exercises that will help you to improve your breath, to increase mobility and bring movement into the parts of the body that may be stiff or tense after sitting or hunching over, etc. for a long period of time. So typical spaces where we all need a little bit of extra love. And we'll also be doing some mindfulness connection. So hopefully you'll feel a little bit more connected to yourself, to your breath, your body after this practice. If you'd like to use some props, you're welcome to grab whatever you think you may need. A blanket is nice to sit on or to put underneath your knees. I'm just using a beach towel. I just rolled it up. So this can be an option for something that you can place underneath your seat in any way that feels comfortable. A lot of people just like to place it kind of at the edge of your seat so you're not fully sitting on it, but you're just slightly using it to help support you and give you a little bit of a forward lean. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you already lean forward enough when you sit. If so, then bring yourself to a space where you think you're at neutral. Nice long spine. And we'll start here. The other props that you may want are 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, a stack of books works, or anything around the house, maybe even having a chair nearby so that you can have some extra support or bring the ground a little bit closer to you whenever you need. As you get yourself comfortable in your seated position to start, I will ask that you just check in with your body throughout your practice, make sure that everything is feeling good and safe, and if not, please skip it and make sure that you're cleared by your doctor before participating in any of these movements. All right, let's start with our eyes closed, or you can take a soft gaze ahead, just looking forward at one spot where you can keep your gaze. Notice if you are tilted down through the chin and head, try to lift your gaze so your chin is parallel to the ground. Maybe you roll your shoulders a few times. Palms can face down or up on the knees or thighs. We first arrive by noticing. That's all you have to do. Just take a step back from your day, from everything that you did, didn't, or will do. Notice what it feels like to be here in this moment. What's on your mind? Can you observe it as if you were watching something that wasn't exactly yours? From the outside looking in, where are your thoughts? Allow your thoughts to flow through. Give yourself permission to think them, but instead of just allowing them to take you with them, choose to make yourself the observer by again coming into this place of noticing. If this is challenging, which for most of us, yes, it is, right? We're used to having our thoughts flow through and we're used to following them. The practice of mindfulness helps you to get a greater view of your life and your thoughts, your state of being as a whole. So as your thoughts flow in and out, watch them by saying maybe something like, okay, I see you. Your thought about dinner. Your thought about work. Your thought about how maybe my shoulder feels a little bit tight today, whatever it is. Just notice and then separate yourself as we sit here for a few more moments. You can continue to do this as you bring a deeper breath into your practice. Allow your belly to soften as you breathe in, fill it up, letting breath come up the belly, through the ribs. Feel the chest rise slightly. If it feels okay, you can hold the breath for a moment at the top and then lengthening your exhale, slowly breathing out through the nose. So the point here is to take really full belly breaths when you inhale. Maybe take a pause. And really, really slow exhale through the nose. Activating your relaxation, your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that knows how to settle in, how to ground here, how to arrive. As you continue to breathe, you may notice that the breath is beginning to change, becoming slower, fuller. Bring one hand to the center of the chest or wherever it is that you feel connected to your heart space. The other hand can come right on top. Connection to your heart space means where do you go to in your body when you're choosing to feel love, empathy, sadness, those deep emotions that guide us. Where do they sit? The heart is always here for you, to guide you, to help you to make decisions from a space that is true to you. As the mind is clouded, it's foggy, it has a lot of opinions, a lot of ideas and thoughts, a big imagination. The heart is simple, it's clear. Take a moment to listen to what you need from your practice right now. Allow yourself to connect to the heart space by noticing the beat of the heart, how the palms feel as they rest in that space. Can you tune in, drop out of the mind, come into the body, and let that bring you into the heart? Anytime you feel lost in your thoughts, just ask yourself to drop into the body, to drop into the heart. You may surprise yourself with the fact that that's something you already know how to do. Or maybe today it feels a little bit harder, and that's also part of life. It's part of the practice, showing up even when it doesn't feel the way that you would prefer it to. Take a few more breaths here, allowing yourself to cultivate an intention, to choose something you want to let go of, or just to simply feel what it's like to be here with you. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Allow yourself to open the mouth as you sigh it out. Let go. 2 more. As you breathe in, your next inhale can allow you to reach your arms overhead, palms can touch. They do not have to. A breath out, flows hands to heart, thumbs rest right above the chest. Circle sweep arms up and over, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. 3 more for a total of 5. Once you've taken your 5th round, you can allow your hands to reach up once again. Breathe in. Flip your palms towards me. Allow your shoulders to drop. Take a bend in the elbows to supplement that. And then press the palms back. Bend the elbows deeper. Cactus your arms, bringing them by the rib cage. Notice if your ribs flare out or belly presses out. Engage core just a little bit so you're still hugging in here as you open through the chest. Now in this seated position, it may not feel like a big difference, but as we move through the rest of your practice, you'll notice this action of kind of hugging in through the belly as you're opening up through the chest will benefit you as you move. So breathe in, we'll do 2 more, reaching up, and then breathing out, pulling the hands back, palms forward, cactus. Last one, you can circle sweep arms, bend, press back, and come into your posture. Breathe in, come halfway up, cactus arms, drop the shoulders, engage the core. Let the neck stay nice, long, and straight here. Take a breath. Then as you exhale, keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, engage your core, and turn the body over to the left side. Now here you're beginning to warm up the core and create movement in the obliques. It's also very good for the spine to be able to move into a twist, not by holding on and forcing yourself there, but by allowing your muscles to bring you there themselves. Come to center, breathe in. Cactus, it's a halfway, and then you're turning to the right, twisting. A breath or 2 here. Come to center, breathe in, reach up. And exhale, release, and shake out the arms. You can begin to roll the shoulders backwards or forwards, trying to get as much diverse movement as you can into the arms and the shoulders, whatever feels good and natural for your body. Shake it out, letting go. Whatever it is, you're clearing away. We'll move. As you move energy, breath, and the body. Nice. So for the next one, I want you to bring your right elbow right by the rib cage, and then just press your hand out like you're asking someone to stop. From here, you can straighten the arm, drop the shoulders. You'll begin to feel stretch, maybe hand, wrist, up the arm. If you want a little bit more, you can allow your left ear to come to the left shoulder. Take a breath. If you'd like to bring some extra weight into the stretch, you can bring left hand on top of the head, not really pulling, but just weighing down. 3 breaths. Keep spreading the fingers and pressing the palm of the hand out towards the right side of the room. You can stay here, take your gaze down so chin comes a little bit closer to the shoulder. You always have the option to just release that left hand as well. Two more breaths here. You can release your right hand down, bring your chin to your chest and roll the head all the way so that right ear comes towards that right shoulder. Take a breath in. Exhale, chin through the chest, other side. Good, breathe in. And breathe out, come through center. Good, take a few more like this. Moving with your breath, it does not have to match my exact cues. If you'd like to take a few full circles and that feels good in your body, you can. Or else continuing those half circles, 3 more breaths. Bring chin to chest next time you exhale, and then inhale to lift your gaze back up. Take a breath out, open the mouth. Nice, same thing, other side. Left elbow comes by your side. You're flexing that hand, spreading the fingers, trying to press the palm or the heel of the hand down here out, almost like you were pulling your fingers back, asking someone to stop. And then you're dropping your shoulders. Notice how it feels if you need more here. Right ear to the right shoulder. Even more, you can weigh down the head. If you already know that bringing the chin in or changing the head position a little bit is going to feel better for you, serve you more, you can go there right away, or else 3 breaths here and then we'll switch. Breathe in. Keep flexing that hand, shoulders relax down. You can bring chin towards that right shoulder if you'd like. Option to release the right hand. Drop your left hand, bring chin to chest. And however you'd like, choose to match your breath with your movement. Half or full circles, a few more breaths. Next time you bring chin to chest, hold here and take a breath in as you lift your gaze back up. Open the mouth, exhale. Nice, we'll take one more round of movement here through the shoulders. First, think about your legs. If you'd like to just change the positioning of your legs, you can. Just put the opposite leg forward if that works for you. And then bring hands, thumbs facing back to the hips. See if you can press your thumbs slightly into your low back until you feel like you're getting a little bit heavier into the pelvis. And then see if you can make your spine a little bit longer just by asking for it to stretch up. Nice. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lift shoulders towards the ears. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze them behind the neck, so keep them lifted. And then you can roll the shoulders down the back, keeping that squeeze left and right. Squeezing towards the midline, breathing in. Squeeze in, roll down, breathe out. This is a little self-massage technique. Take a few more. I love to do this throughout my day. Anytime I just feel a little bit tense, I definitely tend to hold that in my shoulders. I know a lot of us do. Nice. And just wiggle. Shake it out. Let it go. Take a breath in. Reach up. Drop your right hand. Lengthen your spine through the side body this time, so you're reaching up with that left hand. You can walk the right hand over a little bit. Keep your left hip nice and grounded. And then reach over towards the right side of the room. Take a breath in. Lift up halfway. Bend your top arm. Cactus. Breathe out. Inhale to lengthen side body stretch. As you exhale, look towards your right thumb and see if you can bring the left thumb to touch it or just to come close. Inhale to lift up. And exhale to cactus. 3 more, move with your breath. Tapping down. As you breathe out, lifting up. As you breathe in, cactus. As you breathe out, 2 more. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Cactus, breathe out. Engage your core, curl that belly button in, lift to center, breathe. Side body stretch, other side, the left hand lands, the right hand reaches. Take a breath in. Cactus, breathe out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist and tap or get close. Keep moving with your breath. Allow yourself to flow, to get lost in the movement. In the inhales, in the exhales. Come back to that heart space. How do you feel? Next time you cactus is your last. Lean back slightly to engage the core, reach both arms overhead. And exhale to bring your hands to heart. Nice, you can let it go, shake it out. Remove your props if you have them. And then just come to sit in a W position. So right leg forward, left leg back. If you do need or would like to have a prop underneath your right knee, you can. A block is also nice here if it's super lifted. If you're tight in the hips, then this pose may not look exactly like this, and that's totally fine. Do what works for you. You can also bring knee over foot, and props are always available to help you. So you can take a couch pillow, a sweater. I don't know, let me know if you find something creative. All right, so W pose. You're holding here, just notice how you feel. You can change the pose a little bit by allowing your left hip to drop back over to the side, or maybe it stays a little bit lifted here, and that's fine too. Just notice how you can adjust the pose and where you feel it in the body. There are a few different hip flexors that you can find this stretch in, so maybe different for all of us depending on how we hold the pose and where we hold tightness in the body. You can choose to stay here, or if you'd like to change the sensation a little bit, you can choose to walk the hands around. Just maybe find a spot to hold where you feel a stretch that is serving you and your body. If you'd like a little bit more, you can continue to move the hands around instead of stopping, or you can adjust the legs by beginning with the back leg, flexing your foot, and just noticing the angle of the leg. If you can bring the angle a little bit more to 90 degrees, that can help you to find a little bit more sensation. So you can scoot the foot out, create a 90-degree angle with this back leg, and then if you'd like, you're scooting the left knee back so that it's coming a little bit closer to being in line with the hip right here. So it may not move that much, that's okay. That might be enough. Maybe you hold here and breathe. If you want to move a little bit through the front leg, same thing. Foot flexes and moves out until you find more of a 90-degree angle. Then you can scoot the knee so that it's in line with the belly button. Right, and it doesn't have to look exactly like this. It's your time to play with the sensations in the body, especially in a pose like this. You do have the freedom to kind of adjust and find something that feels good for you. So we'll take a few breaths here. You can choose to hold upright, or if you found a spot that you want to fold into, that's totally cool as well. Just try not to hunch over and fully relax. Keep some weight in the hands and the shoulders rolled back so you're long through the neck. Last 3 breaths in this pose. Last breath in. And let it go. Slowly press yourself back up to center. Then you can begin to lift your back knee. Maybe you scoot that front foot, your right foot, underneath the left knee. Good. And then you'll just have the hands to support you, or if you feel good where we're going, you can keep the hands at heart or just relax down. So you're leaning back. Nice. You're lifting up this back knee. It may take a little bit more of a lean, like you're going into a boat pose if you're familiar with that posture. Then you're bringing knee towards the chest, straightening the leg as you bring it forward. Foot should be in line with the hip point. It might be out a little bit. That's totally fine. Take a breath and a breath out. Good. Breathe in. And exhale, bring your knee to your chest. We'll come into a twist. So coming from this pose, you're going to scoot that right knee even further towards the left side of the room. And then your left leg comes around and over for a twist. Now this could be a lot on the hips, especially if you feel like this back hip is very lifted. You can straighten your right leg instead. Cool, so please do this if you feel like it's not really settling in your body. This is much better to do anyways if you feel that way. So we're holding here. Maybe you're here. Today I'm gonna be here. You can stay here if this is enough, or else breathe in, reach up. You can twist over, allow the muscles around the spine to move you, lengthen up. So ask yourself to get a little bit taller, and then once you've arrived, you have the option to give yourself a hug and land that back hand down. Right hand hugs onto the left knee. Back fingertips or hand can reach the ground and press in as you lift yourself taller. Take a breath. Engage your core as you exhale. See if you can ask your muscles to help you move so that the chest spins a little bit more to the left side of the room. So breathe in. Deep exhale and twist. One more lengthening breath. And a deepening breath out. Breathe in and reach up on your next inhale. Exhale as you take a counter twist, just landing the hands to the other side, lengthen the spine, take a breath. And exhale to center. Good, now from here you can just unravel and wait for us in a W pose on the other side, or if you feel good in the hips and these poses have been working for you today, then you can play with me here. For those of you that have this bottom leg bent, you can keep it as it is. For those of you who have it straight, you can keep it like that. For now, we will just lift up this left leg again. Bring it forward. Those who have the knee bent, it looks like this. And then bring it all the way back to your W pose. Nice. You can lean back, coming almost into a boat pose, walking the feet forward and around. W pose on the other side. Notice what feels different about this side of the body. That's a nice way to keep yourself reminded that you are observing, you're not judging, and you're not fully enveloped in what you're feeling or thinking. You're watching yourself and seeing where the body and the mind are right now. So you can stay here. You can take that walk around. If you feel good as you are, stay there. If you'd like to deepen, you know where to go. I'll remind you, starting with that back leg, flexing the foot, finding your 90-degree angle, and then scooting the knee back as much as you need to create that deeper sensation. Remember to listen to your body so you're not going all the way to your edge. A really nice thing to look for is to be just right below your edge so that your body can work towards releasing and opening up without feeling so much pressure and so much intensity, which sometimes can just cause the body to feel a need to be tighter in order to protect itself. So that's what that tightness is. It's the parts of you that were holding it together for you, especially in the hips if you're sitting in a chair or at a desk all day. So be gentle. Then again, you know what to do with that front leg. Scoot it out and over until you feel good. Nice. We'll take 5 to 7 breaths here. You can stay in stillness or move around. Notice if you're hunching over, roll the shoulders, have integrity in the heart space. 3 more breaths. Slowly press yourself back up. We'll play with that hip mobility here. So first step is to lean slightly back, engaged core, lifting the right knee. You can scoot the left foot underneath that knee. Hands can come behind you to support you, or if you feel good here, you're holding yourself up, leaning back, knee to chest, leg straightens as you bring it forward. Take a breath. And another. Flex that foot, toes pull towards your face. Good, lift up, bend the knee. You can use the hands to support it as you bring yourself into that twist. Straightening the bottom leg if that serves you better. Arms reach overhead. Drop the shoulders, open up the palms and twist over towards the right side. Lengthen the crown of the head so that your spine is long. And then you can choose to hug that left hand around the thigh, press right hand behind you. Breathe in, long spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. One more breath in. And breath out. Come to center, breathe in. Counter twist, breathe out. Take a breath. Let it go. Lean slightly back. And then you can choose to unravel your left leg with the, to unravel your right leg with the left leg straight or bent. You know where we're going. You're flexing that right foot, lengthening it out. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring yourself back to your W pose. Notice how you feel in the hips. When you're ready, you can lean back and swing your legs forward. Just shake them out. Nice work. Please roll down onto your back, removing or taking with you any props, depending on what you need to supplement your practice, and we'll all be here with the knees hugged into the chest. You're just lying on the back. If you'd like a pillow or a block underneath the head, if you'd like a pillow or a block underneath the head, that can feel nice if you have tightness in that space around the neck and the shoulders. Once you're here, you're just breathing, arriving. You can choose to stay here or coming into a happy baby pose. Step 1 is you're just flexing your feet and lifting up so that your thighs are almost parallel to the ground, not quite. If you can press your tailbone down towards the mat, you may feel a little bit of a gap between your low back or mid back and the mat. In that case, I can help you to find a little bit of a deeper stretch in the hamstrings in your happy baby. If this doesn't feel good, you can keep the back down. Just try not to lift the tailbone in order to reach, as that changes the pose enough that it becomes something else. So we're holding here. If you'd like to bring the hands to the ankles, you can. Maybe reaching the feet works for you today. 5 breaths, stillness or movement. Trying to keep pressing that tailbone and low back down into the earth. Allowing the mid back to be lifted with natural curvature in the spine if that serves you. Slowly release the pose. You can land your feet on the earth. And if it feels good, maybe you just allow the hips to sway from side to side by pointing the knees in either direction. Gentle movement here. Nice, come back to center. Bring your right knee into your chest. Left foot can stay on the earth, or you can lengthen that leg out if that feels good. Take a breath. And open the mouth, release. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, and you can choose what you want to do from here if there's something that you know you like to do, or else we'll start by taking hip circles. So if you choose to skip this, you can always stay in stillness. I know I give a lot of options, but I just like to make sure that we're always choosing what works best for us, and the only way to know is to know your options, right? At least in a practice like this, is to know that you can stay here, or you can come with me as I bring my left hand to my left hip. This is anchoring me down, and then I'm just taking circles through the right hip. If you feel a lot of like popping or a little bit of weirdness through the hip when you take circles, you can decrease the size of the circle, or maybe just move side to side instead. This is something that is said to be alleviated by stretching the hips. This kind of popping, grainy sensation. So maybe our stretches have already helped a little bit here. Maybe it just is not working for you today. If you are taking the circles, reverse direction. And then come back to center. Give yourself a little hug. You can hold here, or you can hold onto the back of the leg, stretching through the hamstring. Feet are flexed. Your low back is on the earth. Notice if you lift your tailbone up in order to help you to reach that leg, and instead try to keep the hips down. A little bit of engagement through the core. Staying right below your edge. Take a breath in. Release the hands, switch legs, breathe out. Good, breathe in. Switch, breathe out. And take a few more. Next time your left leg is up, you can release the right leg down. Remember, a bend in the knees is always welcomed. It can help you find any posture in a little bit of a different way. So feel free to always keep a bend, or at least a micro bend in those knees. You're stretching through the left leg. Notice if you lift up to reach, come back down, lengthen, and relax. Just a few breaths. Good, take your breath in. You can bend the knee a little bit, release the hands, and then we'll work on that leg switch so you're engaged through the core. Low back is pressing fully into the earth, breathing in as you switch, and breathing out. Take 5 more rounds. Remember, you can bend the knees. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, both legs lift. Keep your hands down. Find a happy baby, no hands. Nice, you're bending the knees, feet are flexed. Breathe in, lengthen the legs. Exhale, happy baby. Good. Keep moving through with your breath. Bring some strengthening into your hip flexors, using simply the weight of the legs to increase the load here. Last 3. Last 2. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe you lift head and neck and try to straighten the legs down. You can have a bend in the knees, hover. You'll notice you might shake a little bit as you engage through the core. And then you can land down, bent legs. or straight. Lengthen your arms overhead. And exhale, hug yourself into a little ball. You can roll to one side or rock up and down the mat to bring yourself from a seat to a tabletop position. This may be a nice place for a blanket or a towel in this case, just to place under your knees. So you can choose if you'd like to keep it kind of thin or if you'd like more space. So it's up to you. When I practice, sometimes will just leave my towel right at the center if I'm not using that space as much to support my knees. So we're starting here. If you'd like a little bit more height, you can bring hands to your blocks or whatever prop you're using at any height. To arrive in this pose, you want to check in that you're stacking your hands underneath your shoulder. So wrist under shoulder and then knee under hip. And that's just a way to start. Once you've arrived, you can choose to take your hands a little bit wider, maybe even turning the fingertips out if you feel very tight in the shoulders. Same thing with the legs. You can have the knees right under the hips. Maybe today they want to be a little bit further back or a little bit wider. So allow your body to speak to you. It might change its mind in a little bit. Maybe right now you feel good. And then we'll start by engaging the core, pressing the hands really far into the earth, long through the front and back of the neck. And then bring the top of your head, the very top, the crown of your head, just an inch or two forward as you see that your shoulders are sliding a little bit more forward over the wrist. Press the top of the feet into the earth. Take a breath. Press hands and feet. Exhale, engage your core. Nice. Lengthen your right leg behind you, pressing the ball of the foot into the earth. You can stay here, take a breath in, or if you'd like, curl slightly in through the belly, lift and hover that right leg. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. You can stay here. If you want to lift your left hand to come into a spinal balance, you can. Think about turning your right toes in slightly towards the midline of the body. Stay engaged to the core. Keep reaching forward through the crown of the head. Breathe in. You can stay here, 3 rounds of crunches, elbow to knee. Curling the spine as you exhale, lengthening as you breathe in. Nice, take a breath in. Hold here, spinal balance, and exhale to release hand, release the knee down. Find your version of a child's pose, knees wide, toes to touch. Hips press back. If you have your hands on blocks or a prop, that could bring you a deeper stretch through the shoulders. If this pose doesn't feel good as I cued it, adjust it for yourself, possibly by bringing the knees closer, wider, or maybe just staying lifted on the forearms so you're in half of a child's pose, half of kind of a tabletop position. Cool, so just a place to rest. Notice how the breath moves in the back of the heart, the space where you receive love, where you receive the grace and the empathy and the care that you send out to others. Allow yourself to feel that as you breathe. Notice this space. Slowly make your way back to meet us in that tabletop position. Nice, we'll set up for that spinal balance on the other side. So you're lengthening your left leg, press the ball of the foot into the earth, stay here, or curl in slightly through the core, lift and hover. Stay here, lengthen right hand, spinal balance. Notice if you're still pressing strong into the ground through that left hand, right foot. Belly's curled in. Rock the crown of the head slightly forward. Take a breath. 3 crunches. Moving with your own breath. If it feels more challenging or easier on this side, allow that to be part of your observation practice. You're just noticing. Lengthen the spine. Breathe in. Child's pose, make your way, breathe out. Slowly press into the hands, engage the core to lift the hips. Begin to walk yourself out of the pose. And we'll all meet in a tabletop position to a downward facing dog. So if you're choosing to skip your down dog, you can stay in your tabletop position, or else you're curling the toes, lifting the knees, pressing the hips back and up. Options to adjust the pose for yourself here. You can bring your blanket or towel. You can even use pillows for this underneath your heels. And then bend your knees and walk yourself back to that down dog. So that can give you a little bit of support if you feel like the lift of your heels is up way higher than is comfortable. Allow yourself to feel supported. Nice. If you feel a lot of weight in your arms, notice if the shoulders are by the ears. Can you roll them down by spinning this inside part of the elbow up slightly? That'll help you to engage the muscles around the spine below the shoulder blades. Bringing a little bit of the pressure out of the hands and wrists. Another trick is to make sure you're pressing in through the fingertips. So it may look like your full hand is down, but you're really focusing on bringing weight to each of the fingertips. Take a breath in, lift your heels higher, bend your knees, gaze forward, and walk to the top of your mat, forward folds. Knees are very bent here, so belly is relaxed against the thighs. If you know that this pose does not work for you, you can always come to a halfway lift and meet us here instead. Good. So from your forward fold, take a breath in. Now we'll all meet in that halfway lift. You can use your blocks or just fingertips to the earth or the shins. One breath in. Bend the knees and fold, breathe out. Good, bring weight into the heels, bend the knees further. Curl your belly in, let the hands get heavy, and ragdoll the spine up to stand. Head rises last, gaze up, shoulders roll down and back. Take a breath in, reach up. Twist to your right, breathe out, press into the heels. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale. And exhale. Last one to the left, breathe in. And breathe out. Come to center, breathe in. Exhale, release the hands, mountain pose. Press strong into the feet. Think about spinning your upper thighs out so you're squeezing through the glutes. Think about your hip points, this bony part, and your rib cage. See if you can bring them closer together, almost like you got hit in the stomach. And then once you have that engagement there, you can lengthen the spine and roll the shoulders up and back, lifting the head and neck, pulling the chin slightly back. Close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Put pressure from the feet into the earth so you're grounded and steady here. Allow the breath to be light and free. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to bend the knees. Reach forward like you're reaching for something. Gaze forward of the toes like you're looking over a cliff, and then fold in. Knees are bent. Take a halfway lift. Hands come to the shins, your blocks, or the mat. Exhale. Plant the hands. Step your feet back one at a time to find a high plank. So your high plank can look like this, or you can bring the knees to the earth. Your shoulders are over the wrists. They might be a little bit more forward, like where the fingertips are. That's okay. The knees are way back of the hips. If you were in a tabletop position, you'd be here with the hips and knees. Plank, you're rolling forward, so your core is working for you. Take a breath in. Nice. Keep the head and neck steady and long. Bend the elbows, letting the chest down. Release. You're gazing straight down, long legs. Nice. Press into the earth, roll the shoulders back, open your heart, breathe in. And then breathe out, nose can tap the earth, lift your hips first and let the whole body lift up. Curl the toes, down dog. Nice. We'll do that a few more times. So you're lifting the hips, bending the knees, gazing forward, breathing in. Exhale, make your way forward folds. Nice. Lift up halfway, your choice of hop. Bend knees, folds. Weight is in the heels, ragdoll the spine, breathe in. And exhale to settle. Arms reach up. When you're ready, you fold forward. So I'm cueing one breath, one movement now. If you need another breath, take another breath. Halfway lift. And exhale to folds. Plant the hands and step back. Find that version of your high plank, whatever you're choosing. Take a breath in. Pull the shoulders slightly away from the ears. Curl the belly in. Roll forward. Elbows bend. Tricep push up. You can land down or hover. And then you're opening the chest. Roll shoulders back. Engage your core and breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Lift the hips first. Press up and back. Straighten the legs. Last one, take it at your own pace, sun salutation, or follow my cues. Inhale to lift heels, bend knees, exhale, make your way forward folds. Halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Ragdoll up, engage the core to help you. Mountain pose, breathe out. Reach up, breathe in. Bend the knees, reach for something in front of you. Gaze up in front of the toes and folds. Nice, halfway lift. And exhale, folds. Plant the hands, high plank. Roll forward. Knees up or down, take that push up. Inhale to open the heart. If you feel good here, you can straighten the arms, press into the tops of the feet, squeeze your glutes. Let the quads lift up here, breathe in. And exhale, down dog. Nice. From your down dog, lift your right leg up, take a breath in. Bend the knee, open the hip, breathe out. You can take hip circles like we did when we were laying down, or you can hold in stillness. If you're taking circles, go in one direction, and then we'll reverse, move the other way. Good, inhale, lengthen that leg. And exhale, bring knee to chest. You can hover here, or if it helps you to just land down for a moment, you can. And then we'll come back up, three-limb dog. And exhale, down dog. Good, breathe in, lift the heels, bend the knees. Gaze forward as you make your way forward folds. Reach up to stand, flat back this time, all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, hands to heart. Nice work. Keep weight in your right foot. Engage through the core. Think about everything hugging into center. You can even press your hands together to remind you. And then you're just going to lift up the heel of your left foot. Lean slightly back. You can have a little bend in the right knee. Left knee to chest. Flex the foot. Good. If you feel good, stay here. Take a breath in. Or else, bend the right knee, kick that left leg back, breathe out. Nice work. Up, lost my balance there. Inhale, come back to where you started. Flex foot, bend knee, reach up. Nice, you can stay here or take a twist over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands to heart, bend the right knee. Kick the left foot back. We'll meet in a high lunge so you can get there in a different way if you need to. Back heel is lifted. This left leg is strong. Nice bend in the right knee. You can make the lunge longer or shorter depending on how you're feeling today. Nice, hands can come to the hips. They can reach up or come to the heart. Take a breath. Let it go. Arms reach up now. Twist to the right. Come to center, breathe in. Nice. Open twist, this time to the left, and then we'll bring all of our weight to the right foot. Turn and land that left foot down for warrior two, so it looks something like this. You can adjust it for yourself. Arms are out. Leaning slightly back until you feel the glutes engage. Maybe even pull the pinkies back a little bit to feel more space through the heart. Fingertips are reaching out. Gaze is over the right hand. Take a breath in, reach forward. Nice. Reach up and back, reverse. Try to spin the chest up to sky. Take a breath in, warrior two. And then bring right elbow to the right knee. Breathe out. Left hand can go straight up or to the hip. If you'd like more support, your blocks are here for you. Whatever you're using as a block. Take one more breath in here. And a breath out. Instead of lifting up your hand and arm, if it's on your leg, just think about what it would be like to lift it. That'll already bring more strength into the body, getting ready to hold you, and then we'll all come back up. Warrior two, straighten the front leg. Breathe in, reach up and back, reverse. And breathe out, triangle pose. You can stay high or reach forward, bump your left hip back. Right hand lands down, pressing into the side of that right calf, and then left hand can come to sky. Take a breath in. Bring the left hand to high five that right hand. Breathe out. Maybe it just touches the wrist. And then you'll feel the fingertips sweep up the arm, the chest, the body open up. Exhale, hand to wrist. Inhale, open up. 3 more on your own. You can keep a little bend in the right knee. We'll meet in a triangle pose. Breathe in. Bend the knee, warrior two. Breathe out. Nice. Remove the props if you have them. Spin all 10 toes to face in the same direction as your left foot. You can turn the toes slightly in to give you more space to hinge from the pelvis. A bend in the knees is welcomed. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale as you come to halfway, lengthen your spine and fold. If you are someone who already has a practice and you do like to take inversions, this might be a nice time to play with it now. Restful holds here, just releasing the head and neck, maybe wiggling out the shoulders. 3 breaths. Lift up halfway. Nice. Little bend in the knees. You're going to spin all 10 toes to face towards the right side as you walk your hands in that direction. You can keep both hands inside of your right foot and you can land that left knee down. Again, if you'd like a blanket underneath that knee, you can take it. Hands can land down on the earth. Lift them higher onto the fingertips or your prop for more support. You're in a lizard pose. The right toes can turn slightly out to face in the same direction as the knee. If you need to stay high in this pose, you can keep that leg lifted. It's more of a strength pose, or sometimes I just like to place something underneath my quad to keep my hips a little bit more even. So your choice, 5 breaths. If you'd like to bring your forearms down to deepen the posture, you also can. Notice if you came into your head. Let the sensation of the pose bring you back into the body. and then into the heart. When you're ready, press into the hands, lift up halfway. Tuck your left toes. Find that strength version of the posture. And then you have two options here. You can take a deeper bend in that front knee and kind of spring yourself forward. Yogi squat. We'll hold here. If that doesn't serve you, you can step back and meet us in a down dog. Whichever one you've chosen, we'll take 3 rounds of breath. The last breath in. And breathe out. If you're in your yogi squat and there's a pose you want to play with from here, maybe a crow pose, looks like this, hands down, hips lifted, weight comes forward, toes lift and touch. So I won't really cue that one, but if you have that in your practice, you can take it, or else hands down, hips lifted, forward fold, meet us in a downward facing dog. You have 3 to 5 breaths to get there. If you're already in your down dog, stay and hold. If you need a break, child's pose. Lift your left leg this time, take a breath in. Find that high plank, knee curls into the chest, breathe out. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, down dog. Inhale to lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, tiptoe, forward fold. Flat back, lifts you all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, hands to heart. Nice, we'll move through the same thing on the other side. So we're starting by bringing all of our weight into the left foot, lifting up the right heel, engaging through the core, and find that one-legged mountain. From here, we'll reach up. If you're taking that twist, exhale and go there. Twisting chest to the right. Take a breath in, come back to center. The more engaged and hugged in you stay through center, the more balance you'll have. So if you feel like you're kind of wobbling a little bit, think about pressing into the earth, coming to center, bending that left knee, meet us in a lunge, step it back. Nice, allow yourself to adjust for the side of the body. If you need a little bend in that back knee, that's totally fine. Breathe in as you reach up. Twist over to the left. Come to center. Then keep your hips forward, take an open twist to start. Then we'll begin to bend deeper into the left knee, turning the right hip out, scooting the back foot slightly back if you'd like. Pressing into that back heel, roll the shoulders down, sink into that left knee, engage your core, reach forward, up and back. Breathe in as you reverse, spin your chest to sky. Exhale, warrior 2. Reach forward, forearm to thigh, or hand to a block. Again, right hand overhead or to the hip. You have 5 breaths here. Squeeze your glutes, engage your core, press into that outside edge of the right foot. Keep weight in the left heel, wiggle those left toes. Think about lifting the arm. Maybe you lift and hover it, reach yourself back. Warrior 2, straighten the front leg. Reverse triangle, reach up and back with the left hand. As you exhale, triangle pose. Start with warrior 2, arms. Reach forward with the left hand, bump your right hip back. Keep pressing in through the ball of the left foot. You can land the left hand down, right hand up. Good, keep remembering to find your breath, to tune into it. Moving through the heart space, breathe in. Exhale to bring right fingertips to the left wrist. Inhale to sweep up. Keep going. moving with your breath. Last two. Feel the heart space expand as the arms and the hands are an extension of that space. Last one. Come back to your warrior two. Nice. Spin all 10 toes to center, reach up, and exhale. Wide-legged forward folds. 3 breaths here. So whether you are coming into a headstand or anything of that sort or not, this is still an inversion. If you'd like, you can hug opposite elbows and just swing side to side. Next breath in lifts you up halfway. Stay here. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. And then we'll move into just some quick twists. So if you're not working on any more twists today, no worries. You can stay here. If you'd like a block underneath your hand, you can take it. You're bringing your right hand down underneath the face and head are relatively there. And then you're just going to lift your left hand up to sky, take a twist, breathe in. You can take a little bend in either knee, see what feels good. And then come back to center. Switch sides, left hand down, right hand up. Breathe in. And exhale down. Take a breath in, lift up halfway. And then walk yourself towards the left foot to find that lizard pose at the top of the mat. So I'm on the wrong side because I turned over. Show you guys where to go. Left foot forward, right foot back. Left toes are turned slightly out in line with the knee. The right knee can land down or you can bring a prop underneath it. And remember, you can stay high until you're ready to land the forearms down. If you have your props, they're a nice place to land the forearms as well. 5 breaths. Next breath in, press hands into the earth. You can tuck the right toes under, lift that knee up, and then your choice if you want to go to your down dog or come back to your yogi squat. 3 breaths here. If you're playing with your crow pose, you can go there. Everyone else, you just in your down dog or child's pose. Something that feels good in your body if this doesn't. Last breath in here. Exhale, we'll fold forward. All meeting in a forward fold. So if you're in a down dog, just tiptoe your way here. Take the feet to hips width distance apart, a deep bend in the knees. Engage your core and bring your hands to heart chair pose. You can bring the knees back slightly so they're over the heels. Notice how that feels. You're pressing the legs out. You can even bring the hands there to help you find engagement. Nice. Hands can come to heart or reach overhead if this feels good for the shoulders. If not, cactus is fine too. Just make sure you're keeping that curl in through the belly. Good. 1 more breath in here. Maybe you get lower into your chair. Inhale to lengthen. And we'll take 1 last flow to end this part of our practice. Find your forward fold. Find your halfway lift. Plant the hands down. Move through high to low. Open heart to downward facing dog. Land your knees down onto the mat and make your way to a seat. So you can roll over onto one side of the body. Come all the way into a seat. We'll find a boat pose. So you're starting with your heels on the ground, the hands can come behind you to support you. Maybe you walk the feet a step in, you're leaning back, keeping your spine straight. If this feels good, you can stay here, or else you're bringing the hands behind the thighs, shoulders roll back, neck stays long, both sides, leaning back, engaging the core, lifting 1 or maybe both legs. Another nice thing to do if you would like some more engagement here is just to bring a block or a prop in between the legs and squeeze there. Good for 10. Maybe you straighten the legs. Notice if you're curling in. Readjust so their posture is nice and straight, even if that means keeping a bend in the knees. 5 more breaths. Good, last breath in. Land the feet, give yourself a hug. This time we'll move from boat to canoe to come all the way onto our backs. So you're reaching up, setting up the hands by your sides or on the thighs. Maybe you do like them up here, you're leaning back, lifting one, maybe both. Take a breath. Keep the head and shoulders lifted. Begin to straighten the legs as you press your low back to the earth. And then you'll land all the way down. You can bend the knees to support your low back here. Keep your legs straight when you arrive. Bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. Notice your breath. Drop anything that's still in your space. Ask yourself to come into the body. The breath and the heart. Try to leave the mind out of this one. Lengthen your arms overhead. Point your toes. Get long through the body. Nice. And then you can bend the knees. Land the hands by your sides. You're going to bring the right heel to the left thigh. Maybe you stay here. Next step is engage your core slightly. Bring your left calf so it's parallel to the earth. Flex both feet. You can stay here or you can interlace right hand in between the legs, left hand outside. Grab onto that leg. Reclined pigeon. So you should feel this in the outer right leg. If you straighten your left leg, the sensation kind of changes into a hamstring stretch. So see how it feels to keep it bent. And keep pulling that left leg just gently in towards the body. You can stay here, or this can be a quite nice pose for a twist. So if you'd like something a little bit more passive and same general stretch, you're bringing the legs exactly as they are and just landing that right foot by the left hip. Left leg comes with you. Right shoulder should be down. If the right shoulder is lifted, you can come out of the pose a little bit and hold here. Anywhere in between is okay if it feels safe in your body. Stay with your breath. This is a time in your practice where you can begin to ask your breath to slow down again. Coming back to the breath we started with, deep belly inhales through the nose. A pause and a slow, slow breath out. Even slower exhale. Come back to center if you've come into that twist. You can unravel, wiggle out the legs and the hips. We'll set up for the other side. Right foot down, left ankle to thigh, flex and lift. You can hold on behind the right leg for your reclined pigeon. I'm sorry, your right leg. I hope I'm on the right side. You can hold on to the back of that leg for your reclined pigeon. Take a few breaths here. And if you like that twist and it works on this side of the body, you can make your way there. 5 breaths. On your next breath in, come back to center. You can release, create any movement that your body's calling for, whether it's straightening the legs or maybe just shaking them out. Bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug. Maybe knees come wider, you find another happy baby. You can hold here, take this time to do any last thing you feel like you need in your practice. Grab anything you need for your final rest. Hold here, take this time to do any last thing you'd like to do in your practice, and then we'll slowly come back down. You can keep the knees bent, feet on the earth, as wide as the mat, and the knees not getting together. You can straighten the legs and fully land down for your final resting pose, or come to a comfortable seat. This is your time to settle the energy you've moved. Let the breath become light. Let your body feel heavy as you ask yourself to ground into the earth. Allow yourself to feel supported on the mat, so that you can take that into the rest of your day, the rest of your life. That feeling of support, surrender, just allowing yourself to be without doing anything at all. Notice if you can release any tension in the jaw, the shoulders. Send a breath out to the arms and the hands. Use a breath out to relax the belly, the glutes, legs, the feet, the toes. Let everything go. Come back into the body, feel the breath move from belly to heart. Deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Using the next few breaths to make your way into a seat by rolling onto either side of the body. If you're already in a seat, you can wait for us here. Once you've arrived in your seat, you can bring palms to touch over the center of your heart. Take a deep breath in and open the mouth, let it go. Bow your chin to your chest. Thank yourself for showing up for your practice, for showing up for your own self in each moment with each breath. When you fill your cup, you can better serve others. So really genuinely have gratitude for yourself here and for this moment, this practice. And I thank you all for practicing with me today. You can slowly breathe in as you lift your gaze and open your eyes to complete your practice. Again, thank you so much. For those of you who I do not know, my name is Isabella. And for those of you who I do know, it's so great to be able to do some yoga with you again. You can contact me via email, Bella, B-E-L-L-A, does yoga @gmail.com. Thank you so much.